Now it's my great pleasure to introduce our youth speaker, and today we're very honored to have Dan Harris be our speaker. Dan, just a few words about Dan. He was referred to Disability Law Center by Colleen Flanagan from Easter Seals Camp and Youth Leadership Program. Dan, it was written down 23, but Dan informed me that he's 24 years old now. And he attends Quincy College. He has cerebral palsy, he uses a wheelchair. He was on an IEP through high school and graduated in the year 2004. He received services through MRC as part of the 688 plan that most of you are aware of. And we think it's really important for young people with disabilities to come and talk to folks, because a lot of you have kids that are younger and you need to have some hope, and you need to see people that went through the system that are very successful now. So again, thank you so much for coming, and without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dan Harris.
So, how are you guys doing? Everybody all right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm Dan Harris. I'm 24 years old. I'm currently a student at Quincy College. I'm a human services major, so that means like social work and things like that. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story. Graduated high school in 2004. I'm from Westwood, Massachusetts. It's about 20-25 minutes from here, not too bad. So if you know anything about Westwood, it's a very wealthy community, and there's a lot of pressure to go to a good school if you come from Westwood High, and so the guidance counselors do that and stuff. So all through my high school years, I did pretty well. I was an BC student, primarily in mainstream classes. I did have some. I was in they called it learning center. It was like the resource room classes for like math and English, because that's where I also have some learning disabilities as well as the obvious physical disability, and so I did pretty well, and I was, set to go off to college, in 2004. And I sat in my team meeting, as I was on IEP, as I was allowed to do, and I thought I knew everything. I really did. I was going to go to UMass. I was going to study psychology, and I was going to be a therapist. I was going to have my own practice, and I was going to go off and change the world. So basically, what happened was, I graduated. I was excited, really, really excited, ready to go take on the world. I went to UMass. 2004, and I fell on my face. I failed out within the first year. They let me stay a year. I mean, I had a great time doing it, but the fact of the matter is, I failed out, and I shouldn't have, because I feel like Westwood and the special education department really dropped the ball. So I sat in my team meeting. They introduced me to this woman from Mass Rehab, very, very nice woman, very well-meaning woman. And they said, okay, now that you're hooked in Mass Rehab, you're ready to go. That was false. So, I mean, they really did not tell me about any of the services that I could have used. They didn't tell me about the public transit system. So I really had no idea even how to get around in the world other than in high school and, in my small little town. And in high school, I had an aide to help me get from class to class, help me with my books. And, she would always tell me to go to class. So I went to UMass, and there was no aid, no nothing, so I just didn't go to class. I mean, for other reasons, but we can talk about that too. So, I went to, was at UMass, like I said, I had a great time, did everything. Didn't do anything because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't know where I could turn for help, even in the school. The, big four-year universities, once they have your money, the fact of the matter is they don't care. Once they have that tuition, they're like, okay, and it's up to you. And it is up to you to do the work and to be a student, but you should be made aware of the services that are available. And I feel like UMass, Westwood, Mass Rehab didn't prepare me at all for any of that. So I left UMass, and I went to Massasoit Community College in Canton. I studied liberal arts, so that basically means I went to class. I didn't major in anything. I really had no idea what I wanted to do. I really didn't consider myself an adult, even though in the eyes of the community and the law, I was about 20, 19, 20 years old. So yeah, you kind of consider that as an adult, and you should be ready to move on into adulthood. But because of my physical and learning disabilities, I really wasn't there. So basically, I spent a lot of money and a lot of time at Massasoit. Spent 3 years. I did okay. I was able to stay there, so I didn't fail out. So that was a victory in my eyes. So I wasted a lot of money and a lot of time there too, because I just was kind of dragging my feet, didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I decided, okay, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So I took some time off. And in that time off, I took 1.5 years off total. And in that time off is when I would say, for me, the transition really started. I ended up getting an internship with Easter Seals in the youth leadership program, and because of that, I was able to do a lot of advocacy for other people and a lot of other causes, and in turn, it helped me to advocate for myself. I began going to things within the disability community that let me know what services were available to me, and I said, I remember sitting in countless meetings talking about, a wide range of services, and I was like, really? I wish that was around when I was, ready to graduate. And they said it was, you just didn't know it. So I said, all right, So now I'm 24 years old. Like I said, I'm a human services major at Quincy College, and I'm doing great. I'm finally where I should be in life. If I could give any advice to parents, to kids, you really have to ask questions, because having your child and you as a parent sitting in your team meeting, just hearing them talk and talking at you, because they really don't talk to you, the schools, it doesn't really benefit you. I mean, they think it does because you're there, but you really have to know the questions to ask. Ask about if your child has problems getting around. Ask about transportation. Ask about even to the individual school. Ask about learning center, tutoring services, anything. Just hammer them. Be a pain in the butt. Ask questions, because it'll really benefit your child and even yourself in the long run. So basically, that's my story. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them if I can.